Welcome back to yet another episode of Hexbots, Hexbug Battlebots. Last time we saw Viper Shot and Thunderstrike make it to the round of 32. Now next up, we got a pair of two heavy-hitting spinners. We got T-Bone and Sergeant Tankshell, the piracy committing John Rax, and the orbiting death of, Orbit. But without the way, let's begin with Orbit versus T-Bone. Which two will make it through, and which two will go back to the gutter? 3, 2, 1, activate.
Let the bot battle begin. Both weapons up to speed. Orbit with a good hit on T-Bone. That weapon on T-Bone looks dang frightening. Big hit by both robots. Another big clash there from T-Bone. T-Bone, it's got a very terrifying spinner. It does a nice hit to Orbit. They get broken wedge lid off. So it's starting to do some damage. Orbit circling around. Big hit by Orbit. And it does look like, oh, nasty hit there. And now it looks like T-Bone's bar is bent. But it doesn't matter. They're still spinning up to speed. Orbit trying to do some damage. But I don't think it's going to help him in any way. And Orbit, did they stop? No, they're still going. T-Bone, I think they're still going. They're trying to get that spinner up to speed, but I don't think it can really do anything, to be honest. Instead, just being a flail, unless if it can knock it over. Anyways, T-Bone still going up to speed. Wait, no, T-Bone's stuck. And I think Orbit might get this win by a knockout. And they do.
Well, wasn't really as impressive as we hoped. T-Bone, they gotta work on the reliability of that spinner. Orbit, they gained 3 points. Now next up is a destructive battle between Sergeant Tankshell and John Rax. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Let the bot battle begin. The terrifying spinner Sergeant Tankshell facing John Rax. John Rax being immediately hit by that devastating shell spinner. Ooh! It delivers a clean hit to the front of John Rax. John Rax going spinning out of control. It's got those chains. It could help it defend its wheels. Ooh! Nasty hit. John Rax, they don't look like the robot to be moving on. Huge hit there. Oh! I think the more this fight keeps going, the more John Rax is probably going to destroy. Ooh! And Tankshell going up for a little pop. And now it delivers another big hit. What's Tankshell doing? They're ramming into the wall. And it's the only robot from Ukraine. And surprisingly, we have one from Russia. I'm not getting into the detail. Anyways, John Rax, I think they're stuck. Can Tankshell... Oh! What a hit! Tankshell ejecting John Rax. That's got to be the biggest hit so far. John Rax, they gotta try and do something with those things. Oh! Seriously, John Rax are just being toyed, and now they're being completely flailed around. Another big hit by Tankshell. I think we should just give this Tankshell the most destructive win. Oh! And John Rax suffering a lot of damage. There goes one of the chains on John Rax. It doesn't matter, though, because they're being absolutely mullered. Here goes another chain. Now it's only got 4 out of 6. Oh! Things are looking worse for wear for John Rax at the moment. Tankshell up to speed. And I think it tears off another chain. So it's torn off like 3 chains out of 6. And trying to line up a big hit. Oh! I take John Rax. I think they could just tie off the fight there. But no, they're still going. I guess they're the tanks in this fight. Tankshell still getting up to speed. Oh, it delivers a big hit there to the front. I think he's trying to remove one of those flanking spike things. I don't know what the flip they are. Tankshell continuing its onslaught. John Rax, no answer whatsoever. And, oh! Pinned into the shelf. But look at that. They got one of their forks into the shelf spinner. But it doesn't matter. Because it's probably going to go to the judges. And to clarify, they're both done.
Ladies and gentlemen, the results are in. The winner by unanimous decision is from the judges, Sergeant Tank Shell. Well, some might say, well, yeah, Sergeant Tank Shell literally destroys John Rax. Rax were getting an absolute Muller smashing by Sergeant Tank Shell. I think so far Sergeant Tank Shell might be the winner in terms of, or probably could be the most destructive robot. But, well, he's going to face Orbit, as now it's John Rax versus T-Bone. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Let the battle begin. T-Bone up to speed. John Rax was destroyed last time by Tank Shell. So can they survive against T-Bone? T-Bone laying some big hits. It doesn't spin up to speed fast. It does some damage, but the spinner likes to break loose very, very easily. And you see it right there, folks. I don't know how this fight can go around for either robot. Well, there goes the whole spinner on flipping T-Bone. T-Bone, they're continuing this fight. John Rax, they're trying to get those stabbing spike things onto T-Bone, but T-Bone, I think they have the low ground. I think those spikes are mainly just for jabbing instead of actually getting underneath the robots. If so, then what the flip can John Rax do? I think John Rax is pinned. They're still moving, but T-Bone, they still got to continue this fight. And T-Bone still managing to push John Rax. And another thing about John Rax you have to know is that those chains can't get underneath and maybe high center it. It's pretty much happened to John Rax before, but here, let's just hope it does not. Anyways, T-Bone continuing to shove, but now I think it's John Rax who's getting underneath T-Bone. Who knew that T-Bone is, I don't know, weak. Anyways, T-Bone, I like calling him the blind side of Hexbots from Chaotic Robotics, because its weapon likes to break loose. And also, it could kind of flip itself if having too much power. T-Bone, what the flip are they doing? Are they getting themselves stuck in the shelf? No way in heck T-Bone are losing this. Oh, thank goodness they escaped. And John Rax, I think they're trying to do something. Maybe poke one of the eyes out. You'll shoot your eye out. Everyone says to T-Bone. But they don't care. But now I think it's their chance. Anyways, T-Bone trying to escape out of here like my Sunday dinner. And John Rax is literally me trying to get a morsel before I go back to bed. Anyways, T-Bone, I think they're trying to get him upon their wedge, but I don't think it's really going to work with the amount of weight on John Rax. Anyways, John Rax, they got to do something. I think for a moment, I thought they were high-centered on one of their chains. And, oh, T-Bone trying to get underneath, but they got themselves stuck on the shelf again. Seriously, do they know how to spell control?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have entered yet another judge's decision. They awarded unanimously to the winner, T-Bone. Well, that's crazy. Orbit has 3 points. Sergeant Tankshell, T-Bone, and John Rax all have 2 points. That's probably going to change, as we have Sergeant Tankshell takes on Orbit. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Let the battle begin. Tankshell and Orbit up to speed. Orbit got off good against T-Bone. Tankshell, destructive, flinging hits. Oh my god! That's got to be the hit of the heat so far. Ejecting Orbit halfway across the box. Jeez, and you thought his fight against John Rax was crazy? This is even crazier. I can tell you that. John Rax. Well, they're done for. Orbit, they're trying to get their spinner up and away. And big hit by Tank Shell. And oh! I think they got for the weapon belt. Yes, they tore off the freaking weapon belt. They literally tore off the weapon belt on Orbit. I can't believe it. Oh my god. Seriously, they should just give the most destructive award to Tank Shell at this point. Whether they have to go to the finals or continue their way or not, they're winning that championship. Just give them the championship already. I think they're winning this fight, to be honest. But they have to face T-Bone if they want to make it more, well, up there. Orbit, I think they're trying to get Tank Shell spinning, or trying to maybe get underneath of it. But I don't know. Tank Shell is back up to speed again. Orbit, I think it's also lost one of his wedgelets. No, wait, it didn't. It's only lost his top panel. Oh, big hit by Tank Shell. And again, Tank Shell sending Orbit ablaze. Uh-oh. I think something's wrong with the spinner on Tank Shell. I think it's directional indicator, that black thing at the front. I think it's actually jammed in the spinner. But can they spin back up to speed? They're on the shelf, so I think they could spin up. Or not. Or they're just too lazy. Tank Shell, they gotta regain their ground. Orbit, so far winning on control. There we go. Tank Shell is up to speed. Orbit, what are they doing? Why are they on the shelf? Another big hit by Tank Shell. Finally getting its spinner up to speed. Oh! Right in the kisser. Orbit continuing to push around Tank Shell, but Tank Shell continuing the big onslaughts. Oh! Jeez! I think Tank Shell has what it takes to become a champion. Orbit, I don't even know. Anyways, this fight may go the distance, and it will.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have yet again entered another judge's decision. They awarded unanimously to the winner, Sergeant Tank Shell. Well, that's crazy. Orbit get themselves at 4 points, I believe. And Sergeant Tank Shell with 4. T-Bone, I think, with 2. And John Rax with 2. But now we have T-Bone and Sergeant Tank Shell for the final moments of the battle. But first, Orbit versus John Rax. 3, 2, 1, go.
Let the bot battle begin. Orbit up to speed. And they already knocked off their top panel. So somehow, John Rax did damage to Orbit. How the heck that was able to happen, I don't flipping know. Anyways, they're getting underneath of John Rax. I think their tactic is to shove him up into the shelf. I think they tried doing that with T-Bone. Of course, it sort of worked, as T-Bone just killed itself. Anyways, Orbit, they're trying to get some clearance. They get a nice hit onto John Rax. John Rax, I don't know what the flip their weapon area is. They're originally Panic Attack, but now that. A cannon to whatever the flip that is. Anyways, it's lost 2 of its chains. And I think they're trying to high center it. I don't know how they're able to do that. Oh no! John Rax, they're stuck onto the shelf. They're on the shelf. And Orbit, I think they should have just let him go. And then at the end to let him be counted out. Seriously, I can't get their fight over Tank Shell. I mean, that was crazy as flip. Oh wait, I just realized only one of their chains is gone and not the other. Anyways, John Rax continuing the onslaught. But I think it's Orbit that's continuing the destruction. And it does look like Orbit is having some problems actually trying to attack. But it still looks like Sergeant Tank Shell, I think they may go through, or, sorry, not Tank Shell, Orbit. I think they may probably go through. They just probably need some good hits. And John Rax, I think they're stuck on their chain. That's what I was talking about in their fight against T-Bone. Or was that Tank Shell? I don't know. Anyways, Orbit continuing the onslaught again. But it does feel like John Rax is doing absolutely nothing. Yes, they may have knocked out the top panel somehow. But still, they're not able to get enough clearance to even jab those spikes into Orbit's weapon. Or at least try and knock off the chain. And, oh, look at that! They literally used their top panel to literally get John Rax stuck. What the flip is happening?
Jeez. Well, with Orbit with 7 points, getting very close to having 9 points with Flippy, it's now time with the battle of the big ass spinners with Sergeant Tank Shell and T-Bone. Let's begin. 3, 2, 1.
Let the final battle begin. Two big behemoths, T-Bone and Sergeant Tank Shell. Big hit by both robots to start the fight. T-Bone, their spinner is immediately bent and buckled. Seriously, they really can't get a hold of themselves, can they? Sergeant Tank Shell, I think they could just literally just win this fight. And there goes the spinner again on T-Bone. I think T-Bone have more reliability issues on their weapon than their drive. I mean, that says a lot. T-Bone, I think they're just trying to like, yeah, you win. Just win this fight. I flip and give up. You can't give up now, T-Bone. You still gotta fight to win. Anyways, Sergeant Tank Shell getting that deadly shell spinner up to speed and doing some hits to the front of T-Bone. This is literally just Blindside from Chaotic Robotics against Gigabyte. I mean, imagine that fight. I'd pay money to see that. Anyways, T-Bone being shoved up to the shelf. I think they just want to get up on the shelf because they're like, yeah, we lost our spinner. We want to die. But Tank Shell, they're not letting that happen. They're like, no, you stay up here, I attack. And attack they are, but they're only attacking the front of T-Bone. Another big hit by them. I think I'm starting to see chips of paint come off of T-Bone's front. Either that or it's just me. Well, T-Bone, they're being absolutely destroyed. They're just being absolutely wrecked by Tank Shell. Another big hit by Tank Shell. Seriously, this robot is literally the robot to destroy. It's Tank Shell's fight to lose, T-Bone's fight to not win. Because they don't have their spinner. Tank Shell, they're getting up to speed again. They're just being a straight up relentless robot around the field. T-Bone taking so much hits. And dang, I thought we were going to see T-Bone improve, but sadly, no. T-Bone, I think they're finished, and they are.
Well, not exactly the best heat we've ever seen, but this will do. As Orbit with 7 points, and Sergeant Tank Shell, I think with 7 or 8 points, I believe. Or it was 7. So they're both tied with 7. But join us next time as we got 2 other bigger robots, Dragon's Revenge and Starchild, as they go head to head with Barnacles and Riot. This is Bonzo Robotics or Bonzo28, and we'll see you next time.